Hey everyone, and welcome to another Nicholas the Traveler farming guide. This week is looking for truffles, which drop from fungal wallows, which are in the Ackerwold forest. They can be found, I think, in Melange's Hope and some smaller spawns also further down there, but that doesn't really matter anyway, because I'll be farming them in Melange's Hope and I'll be showing you where to do it. They're quite rare, but the drop rate is fairly good. Again, for my build, I'm using a standard spirit spammer. You can use different builds, but the enemies are quite strong, so there's not much option. There aren't many options that will work well. I would suggest going spirit spammer. The Mend Body and Soul is entirely optional. I'm using it to remove Cripple, which sometimes gets applied in the area. If you don't like using that, then you can use Dash, you can use Painful Bond, you can really use whatever you like. So let's go in. I'll pull up the U-map, and just in case, I'm using an Insightful Channeling Staff of Defense. Nothing horribly valuable or important about it, it's just what I'm running with. Full Shaman's Insignia, superior channeling on the headpiece and all that stuff. Might notice I'm running with heroes. The reason I'm doing that is because there's two groups on the way to the actual farm. They will be spawning in this section right here. And they don't contain the enemies that you're actually looking to farm. They're just in the way. Now, if you don't feel like going with heroes, you can always pop down your spirits and kill these guys or just distract them and run past. But you might as well just use your heroes to quickly get rid of these groups. Because with a full set of heroes, it shouldn't take that long to get rid of a few dredge. And that way, in case you die, which it does happen a fair amount in this run, and you basically start from the very beginning again, which can make sense in some circumstances. Instead of, rezoning, you can then just actually walk back and start over. Now, these groups here are what you want to be farming, but that one I will not be killing at the moment because my heroes are here and they'll be stealing drops. And I don't want them stealing drops. Essentially, if you have heroes in range, they can also get assigned drops. But if a drop gets assigned to a hero, you don't get it. It's just disappearing. So, basically, don't use heroes when farming, unless you're doing it the way I do, which is just to basically get some help for groups along the way. As you can see, it really doesn't take long for a bunch of heroes to clear these guys. And once you're done, you can just flag them away. They'll be on their merry way and not steal your stuff, basically. So make sure you only kill the fungal wallows when you are out of range of heroes, in case you choose to bring them, as I did. Now, this huge area up here is basically where we want to be going, and what we'll be farming are these groups of a fungal wallow and a dredge gatherer. There's 8 of these distributed around the map, and they're all patrolling. Often enough, when I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm done with the farm, I don't go and look for maybe the final group or 2 groups that I missed. I just resign and start over. And really the only enemies you'd want to kill are the fungal wallows. If there's only the ranger left, you might as well move on. Because they can't drop anything that you want. The truffles drop from the fungal wallows. Now it may seem a bit dreary farming them because there's only 8 enemies in the map and they're all in patrols and all that. But it doesn't actually take that long. I think I've been at it for maybe 2 hours, and I got enough for 5 accounts. So that's really quite substantial. There's also this group right there, which has Nundak the Archer and Rot Foulbelly in it. It's a little more difficult to kill it with spirits. That's one... Well, basically that's a group where you tend to die. Maybe with a different build it'll be better. Just, I guess, if you're running something else, you can give it a try. I will also be trying to kill them, because the Foul Belly, the actual Wallow boss, has a chance of dropping up to 3 truffles. So, since that's what you're looking for, if you can kill him, you might as well try. And that might be a reason why you want to go back even if you've died, just because you kind of want to finish off the boss group. If you've already killed half of it. This is not a very representative run, by the way. I've killed 3 of the wallows so far and I haven't gotten any truffles. That's actually quite rare. As I said, it may seem dreary because there's so few of the enemies that you're farming, but just on a per kill basis, they actually have a really good drop rate of the truffles. So, yeah, just don't be disencouraged by the fact that, you know, these guys are so rare. That fact is deceiving, I guess. Now, if you're going for the boss group, you can just wait for them at some location, like, for example, up here, and basically wait for the patrol, because they will be patrolling past you. Or you can just basically, you know, move past this group, sometimes without aggro. If you aggro them, they break quite easily, especially if you pop a cupcake, which you are going to be finding some during the event. So, yeah. And then the boss group is just doing its rounds there. You can avoid them if you like. I generally would advise to avoid the boss group until you're done with the other groups, because the boss group does tend to kill you and then death penalty tends to accumulate. You will probably want to have this shrine active at least so that you spawn back in the area, not back at the very beginning. Otherwise, the boss group is just a matter of, with this build at least, being patient, you know, putting down spirits, walking backwards, and then rinse and repeat. You can't tank the boss for very long. Especially the necro boss is quite nasty. But yeah, just putting down spirits, and there we go. That's the first truffle already, and that's only the 4th of the wallows we've killed. So as I said, it may seem like it's a really bad farm, but it's not. It's actually okay. And of course, because people think it's such a bad farm and such a difficult item to get, if you're looking to sell these things, if that's the reason you're farming, you can get quite a lot of money from selling truffles. I've seen people buy them for 2 actos per set, which is quite high for as far as Nick items go. So I guess if you're in it for the money, then this would also be a nice week to farm. You could also, I've seen someone else say, or I've heard someone else say that this worked very well. You can basically run a kind of Ranger Spiker build, similar to the builds run in Shards of Ore, and you basically just go and aggro a patrol and you spike the wallow very quickly and then you dash out to break aggro. And that can apparently also work quite well for killing these guys and getting their loot. And then you don't even have to deal with the the gatherers. So that's good. Gardeners would actually be worse if there were gardeners in the groups, but I don't believe there are. It's always a gatherer, which is which are the rangers. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The boss group is kind of nasty, so I just put down my spirits and I ran away. The necro boss could actually, at the health that I was at, he could have killed me. He has some damage skills, and because he's a boss, he does double damage. He could have pretty much killed me with 2 skills. But aggro kind of switched to the spirits, and so that worked out well. And yeah, they, the patrol, the guardian here, just kind of decided he wasn't going to stay with his friends. He's going to come after me by himself. So have more spirits. It's a little bit luck based whether your spirits decide to focus the necro boss or the ranger boss. It's always nice when the shadow song focuses on the boss, the ranger boss, because when he's blinded he can't do much, whereas the blind doesn't do much against the necro. It's kind of random. You can't influence the mobs, the boss, the spirits targeting, which some people seem to believe that if you put painful bond on something, the spirits are more likely to attack it. That's incorrect. It's not the case. So just in case you've been told that, no, it doesn't work that way. Okay, and Shadow Song, so that that boss, you can see he's got a condition that's blindness. That makes him pretty harmless. Sadly, I did not get very many Truffles this run. It's a little discouraging, I guess, but yeah, just... Oh, look, we got the green at least. That's nice. It's not a good green, but we got it. So yeah, if you need I think that's a dead bow skin, 1550 poison plus 30 health. I guess, is that a recurve bow? Yeah, I guess that's okay for PvP. So if you're looking for a cheap PvP bow, or you like the skin or whatever, that might be a place to get it. Now there's one final patrol up here. I think there's actually one more that I've missed somewhere at the beginning, but I'm not too fussed about it. I'm definitely not going to go back for it. So, because of the nature of the patrols and the timing, once your timing changes a little, for example, if you just happen to be a little faster killing a group, you are not going to find the patrols in the exact same locations as I did. So, yeah, just basically you go into the area and you try to kill as many fungal wallows as possible, and you do not want to kill these dredge groups. You can, even with this build, you're definitely capable of killing them, but there's no point, because they don't actually drop anything that you want. One thing, again, similar to last week actually, you can get runes from these guys. These are factions enemies, so they will give you factions runes, which means something like Windwalker insignias are out, but you could get Shaman's insignias, and actually while farming Truffles I did get a Superior Vigor rune here, so that's a pretty valuable drop as well. I think that's about it, really. What you do now is you either zone back or you resign. The outpost is so small that there's usually not much of a point doing the trick where you zone out and back in again to so that you end up close to the portal when you resign. There's not much point. It's quite a short walk anyway. And yeah, so if this helped you farm, or if you've got a better alternative or anything like that, let me know and I'll check it out. Bye bye.